Nazi Germany were allies. This was because of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Ribbentrop. This was a pact between the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany. Obviously, as I already stated. Fact number two out of 6. Kamikaze pilots were pilots of the Japanese Air Force. Kamikaze pilots. Their objective was to do a suicide bombing mission on enemy targets. These attacks often were not really effective though. This was proven later in American records of reported kamikaze attacks. Fact number 3. Japanese mentality in World War II was based on the samurai way of life. A samurai would never surrender. And the Japanese forces in the Second World War, kept that spirit going. As a matter of fact, a lot of officers or soldiers or even generals committed ritual suicide when having to surrender to the enemy. So yeah, they don't threat that lightly. Fact number 4. American soldiers often had poor morale. This was mainly or partly because of their system of replenishing soldiers. Normally, a squadron would be like American soldiers on leave of the front, and then they would have time to rest, and their forces will be replenished. But in the Battle of the Bulge, I mean like the American morale in the Battle of the Bulge were low because the soldiers had to be like replenished on the go instead of having some time off the front. Fact number 5. The Germans tried to bomb England into submission. However, this failed because it only made the English more determined to win the war against Germany. And the last fact of this shorter technical video: the Allies also tried to bomb Germany into submission later on in the war. This resulted for a higher number of casualties, civilian casualties, than was actually necessary in a war, because it also did not work. The German public just grew to hate the Allies even more, which is exactly what happened with the bombing campaigns of the Germans over the English. And actually, the only successful bombing campaign, into submission, into devastating the morale of the enemy, was obviously the atomic bomb being dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Yeah, I guess that's the only one that's really effective into making a nation surrender. If Japan had not surrendered after Nagasaki and Hiroshima, most likely the Americans would have bombed Tokyo as well. used, the tactic, involved bombing campaigns followed by a quick invasion of tank battalions, and then followed by infantry divisions who would like fight off any lasting resistance, I guess. This tactic was actually invented by the French, a French general, but it was in the interbellum after the First World War, and people didn't really think of it as if it would work. I mean, like, the French did not see any value in it because they thought like that tank battalions should fight in defense. In defense of infantry divisions, and always they should follow the infantry divisions rather than the infantry divisions following the tank battalions. Can I come up with another fact? Maybe I can, maybe I can't. Let me just think. The Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union in 1942, ending the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact that I mentioned earlier. Apparently, Stalin was devastated by this because he had not really expected, which was really foolish if you ask me, for Hitler to break the pact and actually invade the Soviet Union. Therefore, the Soviet Union was not really prepared for any resistance or high resistance, but it all changed with the needed change in military personnel. I mean, like, in military supplies of the Soviet Union, they found ways to make the T-34 tank, which was really cheap in production. It wasn't the best tank, but it was the best tank, if you catch my drift, because it was really cheap. It wasn't really strong or anything, but they literally could like make thousands of tanks in a couple of days, I believe. And eventually, it became the best tank, even though it wasn't the best tank. And with that last fact, I guess I'm gonna end this video. I want to do some technical things with the audio. I hope it works. If it works, you probably hear it from the moment you click on this video. So yeah. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers, guys.